In the great opening scene of The Social Network, what were you getting in the first few takes, and what did you get at the end that was more, or more to what you were looking for?
We shot 99 takes of 4 setups or 5 setups in that. So they average about 25 takes a setup. The over the shoulders, we shot the 2 over the shoulders, which is is probably 80% of the coverage that's in the scene. We shot simultaneously, which you just don't do. But we could do it because there was a backlight, and it was a half light on one side, a half light on the other side. So we could carve some, foreground shoulder and shoot over that and be looking back. And we could, because we had a very simple source, we could run 2 cameras simultaneously. I probably shot 50 takes of that, because that's the first. We started with the wide shot, the 50-50. We shot 2 cameras of that, and they probably did 15, 20 takes. And that was just all about the master was, I knew I wasn't going to be in it very much. I was probably going to be in it like 10, 12% of the scene. But I needed to set a pace. Because in that scene, you're going to see them talking over each other. So you're going to see one of them interrupt the other, because they're, it's not an over. So I was just like, that last one was really great, guys. You need to take 2.5 minutes out of it. It's 9 pages in 4.5 minutes. So it's like, and they were like at 7 minutes, they're like, woo! I was like, not even close. Not even close. So we would do that until and again, that was probably 15, 20 takes of that. And the first 10, not even worth looking at. And then you get to the last 15 or the last 12 or whatever it is, and they're starting to get it, and they're starting really good at the beginning and a little dodgy in the middle, but we know we're going to be in coverage in the middle, and then a great exit, great exit on this. Okay, we got 3 great exits, and we've got the beginning 4 or 5 times, and then we have little pieces in the middle, but we know we're going to be in coverage on the middle. So then we go into the overs, put the cameras up for simul, to be able to see both these, and just go start. And I would do stuff just so they could, Rooney's like really quick, like very facile, and I needed her to. She spends the first kind of third of the scene going, oh, I'm sorry, you said something, and I thought that was what I was responding to, and now you're on to something else. And I needed her to get, and she got very. She had actually worked it out, so she was very kind of expert at it. This transition, the thought process. So I would do stuff where I would just go right in the middle of the talk, and I'd go, okay, start again. And all the background actors would like run back to their first position, and everybody's like pouring beer out of one glass into another glass, and then keep rolling. And I'd go, okay, great, okay, you guys ready? And they go, yeah, okay, go. And she'd say her first line, and everybody'd step in, and I'd go, okay, start again. And she'd be like, and then you get that energy of, oh, well, I thought I knew where this was going. I thought I understood what you were talking about. And maybe it only helps for, 4 or 5 lines in it, but you get this sense of, and also, this is a Frank Capra trick. It's an old trick, because Frank Capra used to have the thing where he could only print 2 takes or something. So he had this thing that he would do where he would keep the camera rolling, it would go back to the beginning, and everybody would run. And what it does is that when actors get adrenalized like that, they talk faster. And they talk faster kind of because they're also thinking about, like, is he going to cut? Is he going to cut? Is he going to make me go back to the beginning? And they're thinking of this other thing, so they're not thinking of their next line. They're thinking they're in the space thinking about something else. And especially with Sorkinese, it is its own patois. It's like its own world, and you have to. It's an aggressive thinking out loud. It's aggressive thinking out loud. That's what it is. It's like somebody going, we talked to Aaron. It's like that's what he did. What I really want to say here, David, and I'm not really sure I've started, and I'm talking, and I know, and I'm going to get to it, and it's important, and you have to hear it because it really means something to me, and I'm running out of breath, but I really want you to know something, and I can't remember what it is, but it's something. It linked to what you said earlier. It was that thing. When you talk to Aaron, that's what it's like, and you kind of go, let's go at it. So that's what we had to get was that sort of explosive thinking out loud.
Let's open it up a little bit,
Okay.
and
Let's ask this
do this
dude.
here. Yes.
How do you pick your crew for your films?
You know, I get to work with a lot of different people through commercials. You know, I do commercials between movies, not because I enjoy them, but because you get to play and you get to get to go into new sandbox, and it's for a short period of time, and you get to work with different people, and so you kind of go, well, maybe this person would be right for this, or maybe this person would bring something. You know, I remember with Darius Khondji, and we'd done this Nike commercial. I'd seen something that he'd done for Jean-Baptiste Mondino, and a condom commercial that I thought was awesome. And so I said, if I'm doing this, I have to do this Nike women's fitness thing, and I didn't want to get somebody who was going to didn't want it to look like a Bally's ad. You know, I wanted it to be kind of nasty. And so I saw this condom commercial, so I called Darius and I said, you know, would you shoot this? And he came in and he did this really, it's kind of tough, and I liked it. And it was great, and he obviously had a great eye and an amazing sense of light. And then he, you know, mostly was famous for doing perfume commercials. It was like perfume commercial, condom commercial, perfume commercial. And so I had hired him for the 1% of the stuff that he was doing, and the rest of it was, you know, his perfume work. And so then when I brought his name up for, I'd been turned down by 2 people to shoot 7, and I thought, you know, what about Darius? And so I took his reel and I showed it to the head of production at New Line. They were like, it's a serial killer movie. Why do you want a guy who shoots perfume commercials? You know, that makes no sense. I was like, but maybe that's kind of what would be cool about it, is that he's got this very painterly, kind of beautiful, what if we do that and make it really, and he's also got this condom commercial you should see. And so somewhere in the middle was what we ended up. So I do it that way. I kind of like, it's horses for courses. You kind of go, will this person bring something to it that I can use, you know?
What kind of films or filmmakers do you think will emerge out of like this generation who's had access to like vast amounts of DVDs or VHS and kind of like the entire collection of it disposal?
Well, it should be better, right? Pressure's on. I don't know. I mean, you kind of go. I think it's interesting to watch that. You know, you can't really. I mean, the bridge from commercials to movies is sort of burned, and music videos are sort of dead, and yet, and everybody kind of goes, oh well, there's no way to. But you kind of go, well, now you can make movies so much cheaper. You can make movies so much more. I mean, somebody in this, how many people in this room have Final Cut Pro? Yeah, okay. So what's the excuse? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so if you can get your stuff, you can post your reel on YouTube, you can go out. I mean, I can't tell you how many, you know, I get sent like a clip, like once a week, I get an agent calling me going, well, I'd like you to see, and it's like some robot walking through downtown LA. It's like, what do you think? You know, it's like, it's great. You know, can he direct features? It's like, I don't know. He can direct robots walking through downtown LA. But and I'm sure Paramount would like to meet him. But I don't know. I mean, it's like there's, you know, these are people doing stuff in their you know, basements who are you know, have, you know, suddenly this entire movie industry machine like rushing to find a project for them. So, you know, it's not agents schlepping Paul Abdul videos around anymore, but now you've got, you know, and now the agents don't even have to do anything. It's like, here's a link. You know, it's like, I don't even have to put a tape in. So I think there are plenty of opportunities to do whatever you want to do in a small way, and probably that will inform the kinds of films as it relates to film theory and the democratization of libraries and the ability to have access to learn from anything. Certainly, you know, I always looked at DVDs as, here's an opportunity to leave kind of a record of, this is what we were trying to do. If we did it, great, and if we didn't, shame on us, but here's what we were attempting, so that hopefully that stuff could survive to humiliate us in the future.